This is what's called a page layout. It has a this black represents an image. I'm talking about Niagara Falls here. It could be a long panoramic picture of Niagara Falls as it crosses the American-Canadian border. And then the headline, Niagara freezes. Subheadline, last light of day reflects ice. And then the body copy here is two columns of type that is brought over from some source and placed in place to become the body copy. They can be all be the same font, or the headline, subheadline can be something a little larger, a little more fancy, a little thicker. The body copy is generally going to be Century School Book or Times Roman, and because it's easiest to read and you don't get eye fatigue as you go through these things. Now, as this page sets up, I've got 1 inch margins around it and a 1 1/4 inch margin on the bottom. There may be a page number, there may be some other things that would fit on a page, but this is a typical page. Now, if you're really dealing with a magazine, you have a left page and a right page. If this is a right page, it's got an odd number, 1, 3, 5, and there's probably a little more space here. If this is the center of the magazine, or what's called a gutter, this might be more than an inch, or be a little wider, so that the part that's taken into the gutter or to the binding to put the magazine or the book together might have a wider margin here. But for now, I'm just setting this up with the three margins are the same. The bottom margin is a little bigger. Let me show you how body copy works. We're not going to get too far into this, but if you were going to set up body copy, this is how you would do it. The headline and the subheadline are on their own line, and they just hit the let's see, let's go with this bigger one. And if I just hit that and start typing with it, I'm going to get, let's see, I don't know what that's going to be for me here. I'm going to show you the body copy. If I make a column with a type, and if I just come over here and make a column, and it's going to fit the page somehow, but that's a column of type. And there is a little blinking cursor right up there that says, you know, get ready to put the column in. I'm going to say to my column, I want it flush or justified, flush right and left. And then I want two columns, and so I'm actually going to copy this, Option key, I'm going to make a copy and pull it out here, and there'll be a little space between it so that you don't read the lines together. And that gives me two columns. Now you don't see the first one because it jumps to the second one. If I do this, I see two columns, and I take my black arrow, and you see this little box here and this little box here. If I click in the first box, and then as I get over here, you see that chain? That means it's going to link from the first column to the second column. There's the link. It even shows you that. Then you take your type tool and come back to that first column and click in the upper right hand corner. Now I've taken a copy about Niagara Falls off of the internet. I might have gotten it as an email. I might have gotten it as a CD disc. However I get my copy, somebody's writing the copy for me. I select it and get it on the clipboard with Command C, and then on Command V I paste it in. And it comes in with whatever font I've asked for it to be, school book, bold, and it just comes in and sets in this column. Now you can see that that little plus, red plus right there says I've got a few more lines there, and I'll go back to that particular column, and I'm going to stretch it open a little bit and see how many lines I've got left. Let's see. Looks like I got a lot of left lines. Okay, there it is. There's the last one. Now let's get it down here. Okay, now when that red thing goes away there, that's the last line. Now, I can count the lines here and see that the lines have to add up. They have to be, you know, the same width all the way across. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I got 15 lines there that I have to either cut type or take out the last paragraph, or make. I can make these columns a little taller. If I stretch this one down, remember I'm 15 over, so I got to gain 7 lines. And I see there's a gap right here in the lines. I'm going to come back and click at the head of that paragraph right there. and I'm going to delete that space and delete again until it comes back to even on that line. That is, I don't know why that line came in there, but it's there, and I can take away that space. Now I'm just 4 lines over. And so if I come back here and say to this column here, stretch it down 2 more lines. 1, 2. Now I'm right on line here. And I do have a problem here at this last line because this word is so big. It has spaced these guys out and it's given me some gaps there that I'm going to have to deal with. I'm not going to take the time to do that now, but I just want to show you how body copy is arranged. Now when you have that in place, that becomes your body copy. Now you can see that if I stretch this in place and line it up here, I've got a little more copy there than will fit in this space. Maybe there's a second page and this copy spills onto the second page. There are other things I can do to bring this copy down, but you end up with 2 columns and they're equally across level, and they should come within 1 line, and you can spread or shrink or things up here to get that to fit out. But it's kind of what we call shoehorning. You have to get the type and fit it and not make it look obviously that you've stretched it or squeezed it, but it should fit. But those are 2 columns made by actually drawing with the type tool to put the type in it. You don't do that with headlines. With headlines, all you do is click one thing and then just start typing on it, and that's the line, that's your headline, and you create a subheadline and you're there. Okay, I'm going to take this away. You've seen it, but you see it over here now on a more perfect form with all of the indents and everything in its place. This is what you're shooting for when you're making an entire page, is the headline or some graphic, picture, graph, something, headline, subheadline, and body copy.